Hey, welcome to Hustle and Hard TV. I'm Darieth Chisolm. I'm inside of the studios of Mosser Casting, where hundreds of people turn out to audition for roles in films and commercials here in the Pittsburgh area. Just wrapped up an incredible interview with Nancy Mosser, who talks about how to get a role in an upcoming movie or commercial. She also talks about her role as a very busy entrepreneur in a male-dominated industry, and she shares with us just what it takes to keep your hustle going. It's all ahead on this episode of Hustle and Hard TV. Like so many entrepreneurs, I'm drawn to the glamorous, gorgeous, larger-than-life, iconic ideas and outcomes that represent success. I'm amazed at just what it takes to truly be a standout, a rock star, a millionaire, a trendsetter. It ain't easy, but somebody's got to do it. So why not you? I know it takes hard work and hustle to make things happen, but I also believe it's a matter of heart. We can manifest our greatest desires with a little less sweat equity and a little more divine guidance, plus be equally inspired by someone else's life story. I'm Darieth Chisolm. I'm here to help you unleash, unlock, and bloom your dreams in business and in life. I'm a speaker, author, entrepreneur, life and business coach, media personality, and video podcast host. Every week, my team and I uncover dynamic, authentic, heartfelt conversations to help you leverage tools and resources, make more money, live the lifestyle of your dreams, become a rock star, and love your journey. Nancy Mosser, thanks so much for being on Hustle and Heart TV. I'm so excited about having you here.
Well, it's great to be here.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
I've got a number one question, and I know anybody who's watching, and you know what she does here in the city of Pittsburgh with casting actors and extras. How do you get on TV? How do you get into film?
Well, it's really easy. For extra work, you don't need any experience. If you just, want to work a 12 or 14-hour day and be on set and show up, that's all you need. And so we just have people sign up on our website now. You used to have to sign up in person, but now people can sign up online. So it's awesome. Makes things easier.
Yeah, it certainly does. And so for those coveted acting roles where someone has the opportunity to speak and be on camera, what's the process for that? They always say you have to know somebody.
Well, that helps. But, you need to have training and experience like anything else. So many people say, I want a speaking part. They've been an extra a couple times and they say, I want a speaking part. And I say, I'd like to fly an airplane, but I have to learn how to do it first. Mm-hmm. It's not the same, but they often say, oh, I get it, right? And you do. You have to learn how to do it. You have to have experience and things like that. And once you do, and you have a resume and experience, then you can audition. And if you get the part, you don't have to join the Screen Actors Guild. You can wait and then join later, but once you get one part, then you're eligible to join the Screen Actors Guild, and then you can audition for any film that comes to town.
So let's talk about acting and the career of becoming an actor or an actress, and the importance of really having training. And some people are just gifted and they're talented, and
Sure.
clearly, many of those people break into the industry. But for most, it requires skill and training.
Right, and you do have to learn techniques and. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to act. It's not that easy. If people try to do it, they realize it. It's not easy to become another person and for people to believe that you actually are that person. That's not easy to do. So I always look for people that start in theater. Theater is the best training ground for actors. And then people that, take acting film classes, and it's good to go to college for that if you're starting out young enough to go to college. Great colleges in Pittsburgh. Carnegie Mellon University has a great program. Point Park University, University of Pittsburgh. Right here in Pittsburgh is a great place to learn, to start. And then you just practice it every day. You try to get into short films, try to get on the stage, community theater, any way that you can act, you should do it. And it needs to be a passion. If you don't have that passion, then it's even harder.
What about for young kids and young people growing up in the industry, or at least their parents, wanting to play backstage manager and shoving their kids into the industry? Is it important for them to start with some level of training, or is you get them into the field and into the industry early enough, and they learn along the way?
With kids, little kids, we look for bright, sort of precocious children. You know, those little kids they're sort of like little adults. Those are the children we look for because they understand what we need them to do. And so they don't really need experience. We just bring them in and we have them try, and if they take direction, then they go from there. Kids start really small, and they, can then become actors. But in Pittsburgh, there's not a lot of chances for children. But if they enjoy it, and the parents encourage them and support them, it's great. If they don't want to do it, then we tell parents, not to push them, because it's about the children, not about the parents, and sometimes they forget that.
And it can be hard work. I mean, being on the set and working on a film is, it's all day trying to stage one scene, and it can be long and enduring.
Yes, in fact, when my son was about 6 years old, I had him on Adventureland. He was an extra. I said, I can be with you all day, spend some time. We got to shoot at Kennywood. And after a couple takes, he's like, Mom, we've already done this. It's like, so it's hard for them to understand that you have to do it over and over and over and over. So, but if a child doesn't mind that, there's little children that act, and they're so totally cool with that, and those are the kids you need.
Yeah, so skill training, some patience.
Yes, yes, right.
And showing up and doing a good job, clearly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about a work ethic too.
And a work ethic, because I want to talk about the industry and the film industry, and certainly your road to success in a moment. But as we're on this topic of actors and extras, and their desire to be in film or be on TV, the work ethic involved, and the sense of knowing that it's important to hone your talent and to stay at it, stay in the hustle, so to speak, from the standpoint of the actor or actress.
Right. I saw something last week that Billy Porter said when he was in town, that you have to create your own art. And he moved to New York, great training. He went to Kappa, he went to Carnegie Mellon, so talented. He went to New York and he, started his own one-man show, and he just worked at it at a little bar, and he just sang every night. He needed to do that. He was compelled to do that. Just like artists have to paint every day and writers write every day. I think that if you have that kind of passion and you work very hard at it, you could be successful.
And you said work your art. I like that. That's a great takeaway line. Work your art. No matter what your art is, it can be in this industry. It could be, you could decide that you're going to open up, any other business. But whatever it is, it's important to make sure that you work your art. And I understand that.
Exactly.
Talk about working your art. Talk about your personal art and your journey to becoming really a premier casting agency here in the Pittsburgh area.
Oh, thank you. It's a long road, but quickly, I grew up in a theatrical family. So when I was little, I was watching my parents on stage. As soon as I could read, I was prompting actors in the wings of their local productions. And the people that they hung out with were actors. That's what I'm used to being with, those actors. And I got to be on stage when I was 3 years old, and many times after that. When it was time to go to college, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I knew I loved theater, so I majored in theater at Penn State. But in that program at the time, the people that were involved in that program knew that you had to have that kind of passion, but I didn't really realize it then. So they said things like, you want to go to a football game? Oh, you should be. You should be on stage on Saturdays, not at a football game. And I didn't really understand that, but they were that passionate about it even then, and I wasn't. So I loved it, but I wasn't passionate about acting every day. So one day I cut through a building because it was so cold at Penn State, and it was a TV studio. And I looked through the window and I said, now that looks like fun. And so I took a course in television production, loved it, and switched into that as a major. And that's what I graduated with in 1978. And I got my first job at Channel 11. And Channel 11. And worked up on the hill, and I got to work with, wonderful people that love their work, and I worked in the production department, and we did many projects back then. I got to produce public service announcements, and I loved that. And I just kept going in television for a while, and then one day I got the opportunity through a friend to interview for an extras casting position on an HBO film that was in town called Criminal Justice in 1990. And I just practically begged for the job. I wanted it so much, and I knew I'd be really good at it because it combined with theater and production to one thing, and I got the job. I worked literally, and I'm not exaggerating, 21 hours a day.
Hustle.
Hustle,
Yeah.
exactly. But I just loved it so much, and the people, it was like this group of people that were just all there for the same thing, and wonderful artists and people to learn from. And I slept about 3 hours a night. I booked extras all day. No email back then, no cell phones, no answering machines. So you had to work till midnight. You had to talk to every single person, tell them where to go, what time, and things like that. I would go home and sleep for a few hours, be back on set at 4 o'clock in the morning, signing in the extras. Back then, also, we paid in cash. So we had to be there at the end of the day to pay the extras. So I was just crazy, but I just loved it.
And you turned that hustle, which is so great, into what you have today. And we're going to talk about that because it was that moment, that time when you knew that this is my passion. This is my heart. Here's my hustle, and this is why I want to continue to grow this exciting and successful casting business. So we'll talk about that, and even how you balance your personal life, because I know sometimes that can be a bit of a challenge when we come back. Are you interested in learning more about podcasting and video podcasting and how you can build your brand, influence, and income through podcasting? I'd be happy to help. In fact, you can schedule a complimentary discovery session with me. Really simple. Just go to podcastingandyou.com. Leave me your name and your email. You might want to check out one of my upcoming trainings as well, or simply send me an email at info@dariethchisolm.com, and we'll get some time scheduled to discover how podcasting can help you grow your business and your brand.
The award-winning Savoy restaurant has become synonymous with fine dining, upscale ambiance, and a great destination for local and national celebrities to enjoy the night in style. The Savoy has won multiple Savor Pittsburgh awards for its delicious menu. Our wine list was awarded Wine Spectator's 2012 Award of Excellence, and the Savoy has also won the American Institute of Architects' People's Choice Award for its beautiful architecture and design. For dinner reservations and more info, log on to savoypgh.com.
The success in selling your home and getting the right price lies in the crux of your agent's ability to maximize your home's exposure to the largest number of qualified buyers. Each year, Dion Malish helps a family buy or sell a home every 5.5 days, so she's confident that her proven home selling strategies will sell your home. Dion and her team are not your traditional real estate agents. Unlike many agents who pound a yard sign, post to the MLS, then sit back and wait for your home to sell itself, Dion uses a proven, repeatable system to sell your home for up to 18% more in less time. Dion recently published 25 tips for selling a home in Pittsburgh, which is also available on Amazon. If you're thinking of selling your home, you can get a free copy by visiting www.25tipspittsburgh.com. You can also contact her at 724-554-3514 or email her at dion@northwood.com.
Hello, I'm Jackie Venko, and this is Maggie, and I'm a singer, and you are watching Hustle and Heart TV with Darieth Chisolm.
Nancy, we were talking about just really when you love what you do, when you have that heart and that passion for the thing that you do, you can do it all day, 21 hours a day. In fact, your heart is what fuels your hustle, so to speak. That's the name of the show, Hustle and Heart TV. But for you, you said that it not only did that for you, but it was the start of what you have today. You didn't know that back then, though.
I didn't know.
But what did you know?
Well, I knew that I wanted to love what I do. My parents instilled that in us, to just love what you do. Don't listen to anybody else and keep going for it. If you work hard, you'll get there. And everything that I did, even from starting on stage at 3 up to that moment where I was sitting in my office in the production office of the movie and saying there's nothing else I'd rather be doing, none of it was wasted because it all came to that point.
Yeah.
And I use all of it today, to this day, because I still shoot video, I still edit, I direct actors, I prompt them, just like I did in the wings of the community theater. So all those things led up to this point. And I'm so glad, but it took me 11 years. I speak to groups of Girl Scouts, college kids, high school kids, whatever, and I say, don't be afraid if you don't know what you want to do when you're 17. You have to explore.
Yeah, you do.
And how would, don't know. And so when I finally discovered it, it was 11 years into my career. And I didn't let that stop me, though. And I just kept working so hard, working hard, working hard.
That's a great testament to someone who has midstream in their life and their career wake up and say, I can't keep doing this. There's got to be a different way. My passion is leading me over here. I need to make a choice and a change.
Sure.
What would you tell someone if they're standing on the edge and they're not quite sure as to whether or not they really do want to jump into this new life or into this new dream business or new opportunity?
Well, it's hard to sometimes make that decision, but I think it's worse if you don't. And you have to be prepared for some really lean times. There were times where I was, being a temp. I did temp work in between movies. I was well into my 30s at that time, and I still did it because I knew that if another film came, I had to be ready for that. And that was hard. That's taking many steps back. But I just, was determined. And so many people say to me, I could not do what you do because I don't like the uncertainty. Well, I don't like the same thing every day, 9 to 5. So thank goodness there's so many different types of people that can do that. But I couldn't be in a cubicle 9 to 5. I couldn't do that. It's just not in me. But I might not have a paycheck for months on end back when I started.
But you're living your dream. And you're
Right.
creating your own destiny.
Right. And my dream has finally really come true. And then I dreamed of a space like I have now where people do readings, people have workshops in acting almost every night here and on weekends. We cast for movies, we cast for commercials, and it's a place for actors to, practice their craft, work their craft. And I get to give people jobs every day in acting. So all those people that I grew up with, even my parents, I can now work with them every day and give them opportunities and help them along the way.
Would you say the biggest challenge that you faced was getting through those lean times, or is there something that you found to be more challenging throughout the course of running your business over the last few years?
I think that that's tough when you're worried about money, and you're worried about paying bills and things like that. But it's also I had challenges as a woman in the business too, and luckily I did start at a time in the late 70s where production companies and TV stations wanted to hire women. But it's also a challenge to make people that from out of town believe that you know what you're doing. Like people from Los Angeles and New York, when they come to town, they sort of don't believe that we do. So you have to make them realize it pretty quickly. But that's changing too, because Pittsburgh's such an amazing film community now.
Amazing. The movies that have come here in the last decade and the opportunity for filmmakers to showcase our beautiful city, for actors and actresses to be here, and for even the people in the film industry, the photographers, the grips, to work on high-level films these days. It's just, it is amazing.
And I never dreamt that would be possible. I thought I'd have to move to LA or New York to do that, and I don't have to. I can work in this wonderful city that we get to live in, and work with the most amazing actors and directors and producers. Right now I'm working with Ewan McGregor on a film called American Pastoral. It's he's directing for the first time, and he's a wonderful person, and he's so happy to be here in Pittsburgh. And that, I never thought I'd have that chance.
Yeah. Let's talk about that process, though. So when a director or a movie producer says, yep, we're going to use Pittsburgh, we need to get in touch with someone who can help us cast.
Right.
What is the process? They obviously contact you, and then what happens?
Well, they often contact people that, production coordinators and people that know all crew people in Pittsburgh, and they refer. So when you said it's who it's really important not to burn any bridges. Because people literally now are recommending me for jobs and hiring me for jobs that were production assistants and lower level production people back when I started. And they said, they say things like, I always remember you were so nice to me, and now they're hiring me. So, it's a small community, even outside of Pittsburgh, the film business. Now when I see credits, there's always someone that I know that I've worked with on every film that I see. So you just have to make sure you maintain those relationships.
Really important. Relationship building, collaborating,
Yes.
networking with other people.
Right.
No matter what business you're in, we know the importance of doing that. And you have to make sure that you're creating those connections, because you never know when it's going to surface for you in the future.
That's true.
And for you, it certainly paid off in that way.
Right, help people, be nice to people, treat everyone with respect. And definitely, will help you in the future. And it's also a nice way to be anyway, right?
Yeah, right.
But-
who wants to be miserable
right.
and not, help others and help and serve others in that way? So anyone interested in starting their own casting company or in this industry on some level, what piece of advice would you offer to them?
Try to find people that do what you do, that will, you can apprentice for, intern for, learn as much as you can about the business. Get in touch with a local film office wherever you are, because they're the ones that refer productions to crew people. And, again, work really hard. Don't say, oh, I don't know if I can do that, or no, I can't work 14 hours, or no, you can't say that. It's all yes.
You can't want to be
yes,
in film and TV
yes.
unless it's something
right.
like that.
It's just like, yes, I'll do that. Yes, I can do that. If you don't know how, learn, find out. There's so many interns that we have that we've gone on to hire that have been great, or referred people all the time. Since we work with people, since we're not like grips that work with cables or whatever, since we work with people, so many people will call us and say, I need a makeup person, do you know anybody? I need a production coordinator, I need a stylist. Just happened yesterday. So all the people that I've worked with, I refer them. And so I think it's a really good way to, get work here in Pittsburgh. Same as anything else though, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just work hard, get training, work hard.
It's the basics.
Don't give up.
Yeah.
And it's also important to have support. I always had support of people saying to me, you can do it. Other times some people will say, oh no, you shouldn't do this. You need something to fall back on. You should be an accountant. You can't be an actor. Those kinds of things. So I never had those voices in my head, which I think that would be very difficult. But if you do have parents maybe that don't believe in that, find somebody that does and listen to them.
Yeah. You're watching us on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, we'd love for you to hit the subscribe button so that you can continue to get updates on all the shows that we produce on Hustle and Heart TV. You can also go out to my website at hustleandhearttv.com and then search for Nancy. You're going to get a lot more information on our show notes page, including, I'm sure, some tips and tricks and maybe a couple of books that she'll share with us. I just wanted to remind you of that in the middle of this. But when we come back, Nancy, I want to talk a little more about just how you balance life. I know that, as a busy entrepreneur, it really makes sense to find ways to step aside and away from what you're doing and find the center and the place to balance yourself so you can come back and give more. And we'll get Nancy's way of balancing herself when we come back. Are you looking for a way to advertise your business, product, or service? Why not do it here on Hustle and Heart TV? We'd be happy to send you our media kit for show sponsorship and advertising. Reach out to us at info@dariethchisolm.com or give us a call at 412-692-1600 and we'll send you a media kit with all the information. When it comes to food, family, and tradition, ATRIA'S is your dining destination. ATRIA'S has a passion for food, and it all starts with our culinary trained chefs. From the made-from-scratch rubs and dressings to the best in the burr crab cakes, ATRIA'S prides itself in serving honest and real food. Come and see what makes us different at one of our 8 locations. We're now offering private dining, to-go, and full-service catering. Don't miss our 17th annual Oktoberfest starting September 8th, where you'll enjoy the most authentic German cuisine that Pittsburgh has to offer. ATRIA'S, we're always changing courses.
Are you looking for a career that pays great money, working with a fun group of people? I know, sounds too good to be true, right? Hi, I'm Troy Miles of the Miles Group.
We will train you, help you get your license, even supply leads. No cold calling.
I've been here 2 years and earned 6 figures this year.
I love my job.
I love the freedom and being my own boss.
If you would like to work among friends, have a great time, and make good money, call us.
Find out more at tmilesgroup.com.
Hi, I'm Bill Peduto, the mayor of the city of Pittsburgh, and I'll see you on the next episode of Hustle and Heart TV with Darieth Chisolm.
Balance, 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 balance. How do we do that? How do we find time for ourselves and still take care of all of the other things that we have to?
I think it's really hard for women. I think men that I know they don't think the same way you do. Like, we have to get everybody else taken care of before we think of ourselves. So I think it's something you almost have to force yourself to do sometimes. Last week I started to sort of forget some things that I shouldn't have forgotten to tell to my employees and things like that. And I said to myself, I need to step back for a day. And a week would have been better, but a day was, I just need a little time. I need a little more sleep. I need to sort of be at home and go get my hair done and just have one day. And it was really, really tough to do, but it helped me get through the week. It was a Friday. I'm like, I just have to step back. But when there's balance is off either way, when I'm not working enough and I'm at home too much and I get bored, then I need to get back to work, and then it can happen the other way. So it's important to balance both. Mm-hmm. And I also noticed that I didn't get married till I was 40 years old, but my husband had a full-time job at a production company, and I was still, freelancing and trying to get movies and other work, and it was very helpful to have somebody that had a full-time job. We talked about that before. So you can, take more chances, turn down jobs that you don't think are good for you and things like that. But that helped me a lot, and he's very supportive. I adopted a baby 14 years ago in the middle of a movie. I literally went to Nashville, picked him up during Mothman Prophecies, came back, went back to my office, held him, made phone calls. So that was interesting to do that balance, try to do that balance. And but I think having my own business had to have been easier than women that work 9 to 5, and they can't just like run out or work at home or things like that. So that was a time where having my own thing was easier than other women that don't have that opportunity.
Because you own the business, you had some flexibility, albeit you worked hard, at least you could manage the time and the hours
exactly.
being an entrepreneur. So you had, let's go, because that's interesting. So you obviously you had been starting this process of adoption, but the time came where you literally left the set, went to Nashville, and came back. Wow.
I know, it was
Life
pretty
had to
amazing.
change then.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It really did. But again, you just juggle and you do what you have to do. And I brought Benjamin to the office as long as I could until he was running around, and hired helpers and put him in daycare when the West Wing came to town, and I didn't have anybody to watch him, so I had to put him in daycare. Luckily, Point Park University, right across the street, with a wonderful program. And they let me in, like halfway through the year. How does that happen? But, I think the movie business provides you some opportunities like that. I say, well, I have to work on the West Wing. Do you have an opportunity? Like, okay, yeah, sure, we'll take your baby. I'm not sure that would have happened in any other job, but people were just excited about that business, so that opens doors. And I just kept going with him. So he's 14 now and a teenager, high school.
And like all, busy working moms, whether you own your own business or not, or you're working, it can be a challenge to really be a good mom, be present in their life, be present in the lives of, the people that you either work for, or if you own your own business, those employees that you have. That sense of not burning out and not really losing focus on all of those things is always present in women's minds.
No, it's
not
true.
that it's not the case in men, and this doesn't mean to be despairing for men, but for women it's a bit of a challenge,
It is. It's just always a first priority. And I think we haven't had a vacation for 2 summers now, because the film business is very busy in the summers, but we can't vacation during the school year because my son's in school. So we just have to work around that and take opportunities when we can. But yeah, we've had no beach vacation for 2 summers. I'm not happy about it. But I'm just thrilled to have so much work, though.
That is good, and that's the balance. And you've got a great team. And when we talk about really as a business owner, leadership, leveraging, how is it when your team, when you work with one another, that you're really leveraging and collaborating with one another? And how is it that you put together a good team?
Well, I do have a great group of people that I worked with. Katie Cheneau came to me from Point Park University. She was a theater major. She decided she didn't want to go to New York and try Broadway. She wanted to stay in Pittsburgh, where she grew up. She called me. She had never met me. She had heard about me, and she said, "I want to work for you." And I said, "Okay." It's funny. "Really? But you don't know me." And she said, "But I've heard great things, and this is what I want to do." I'm like, "Okay, come over, hang out for a couple of days, see what you think." Well, I had somebody freelancing at the time for me, and she left early. The same day Katie came in to observe, she just left early at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. She called my husband, and he said, "Yeah, go ahead and go." I'm like, "What?" Anyway, I was at the zoo with Benjamin. He was just a toddler. I took 1 day to go to the zoo. Anyway, so Katie was right there. She said, "I don't think you should go," to this other girl, and she went anyway. And so the next day, Katie, the other woman, got fired, and Katie got hired. And she's been with me for 13 years now.
Wow, how serendipitous. Yeah.
And she's wonderful.
Great.
And again, she's a theater person. She learned the business that way, and so she can direct actors. She knows she acts herself, and I taught her how to do all the video stuff, and she's
And you
wonderful.
really leverage the internet too. I mean, you've made it so that it's easy for people who want to pick up any casting opportunities to just go right online, put their information in, and they're in the system.
Absolutely, and also social media has been amazing for what we do. Anything we look for, we just put it on our Facebook page, and it goes viral around Pittsburgh, and we find what we need like almost instantly. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's really helped our lives. Email helps our lives. We tell people what to wear, where to go, where to park, directions and everything, all in an email instead of on a phone call.
Before you had to call them or mail something.
For hours on end. So yes, it's that's really changed everything. And now everyone has their own smartphone, so they can take pictures and email them to us. And so the technology has just helped tremendously.
What have been some of the most exciting films that you've worked on? There's probably a long list, so maybe if I have you narrow into maybe 2 or 3 of them.
I'm trying to think lately. Well, we just worked on last year, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, which won the Audience Award and the Grand Prize at Sundance, so that was very exciting. Wonderful little film. Two boys hired for Pittsburgh, had never acted before, got speaking parts in that film. That was very exciting for them and their parents. We did Out of the Furnace with Christian Bale. We've done, most every film in the past few years we've worked on here in Pittsburgh. And, I've been doing this since 1990. So last count, it was about 65 movies.
Wow. Where are you going from here? What does the next 5, 10, 15
Just keep it going. People say, I talked to a very prominent businessman in Pittsburgh recently, and he said the next 10 years in Pittsburgh are going to be even a bigger boom than we have right now. So the commercial market, I think, will be even bigger for us. We work a lot on commercials. That's really our bread and butter. Movies come and go. Tax credit money comes and goes, but commercials are here. Corporate projects, we do a lot of training videos and marketing videos that use actors. So we're just going to keep going. And I'll just hire more people as I need them, because I think we're going to need to.
Yeah. And what's the number one piece of advice you'd give someone who is looking for their hustle and really wanting to love what they do?
Well, first of all, you have to know what it is, and you have to find it. It took me a while. But once you do, just don't give up. Don't give up.
Great. Thanks so much for being on our show today. Really
Thank
great
you.
information. I love getting to know you. And for all of you all who've been watching, we want to thank you for watching this episode of Hustle and Heart TV. We'll see you next time. CTC Booking Travel and Entertainment Cruise Productions, the world's leader in full-ship charter music cruises, announces 5 cruises featuring the best in jazz music entertainment. The Signature Cruise, Smooth Jazz Cruise, the Jazz Cruise, 80s Cruise, and Gospel Music Cruise. Sail for 7 days with the finest music and entertainment artists in the world. Go to jazzcruisecatalog.com and book your cruise today.
Welcome to the Pittsburgh Marriott City Center, where all of your meeting, events, and travel needs can be met.
I'm Christina Stanley, and I handle the corporate market here at the Pittsburgh Marriott City Center. While corporate conferences can usually be very structured, our high energy and creative staff can make the experience memorable and unique for all your attendees. Also, if you're a new business or company in the area, please contact me for special corporate rates.
Check us out online on Facebook at Pittsburgh Marriott City Center or call today at 412-471-4000 to make your next event brilliant.